Hello everyone, welcome to our session. Today we're going to talk about VLANs basically. My focus will be on VLANs. So we're going to talk about how to configure VLANs, access ports, all this native VLANs, all this. Okay. The focus will be mostly on VLANs. Okay. Everything related to VLANs. In the next topic, in the next videos, we'll continue the remaining topics. Okay, so let's start with the first you have to download Packet Tracer. Okay, this is a tool that allows us to practice networking. Okay, so let's just remove, or let me just create a new this is a new Packet Tracer. Okay, this one you can download it from here. 1 second, or I will put this link on your on Google Drive and share you the link of the application Packet Tracer. Okay, this is the setup file. So basically, what is Packet Tracer? Cisco Packet Tracer is a tool that is used for practicing networking basically. Okay, you see here we have switches, we have routers here, and we have cables here. Let me show you one thing. Let's just take one switch here. Okay, this is one switch. Okay, and this is a PC. We'll put one PC here, and we'll put one PC here. So in order to connect it, we can use the cable here. This one. This is the straight through cable. This is the port, and we'll connect to fast Ethernet port. Yeah. So these are the interfaces. Like this is the port 2, port 3. These are the ports in the switch. Okay. And this is the port on the PC. So right now I connected. This is basically a network with two PCs, right? So let's set an IP for this one. Okay, let's put them in the same network for now. 192.168.1.3. Okay, and let's put this one as well. You can set the IP from here. Desktop IP configuration, and 192.168.1.4. Okay, and yeah, so this is how it works basically. So now what I will do is, right now the switch, I didn't configure anything on the switch. Okay, I just want to try something. We'll use the CMD from here. I'm going to ping this one. Okay, but I want to do it in a stimulation mode so we can see how the packet is going to this one exactly. Okay, let's add another PC so we can just see how it works. Let's see. Okay, and yeah, here. So let's put this one to the IP. Let's make it 192.168.1.6. Okay. Let's just finish the setup. Let's put note here for this one. Show viewport. No. No. going to do one thing. This is 113, right? So I'm going to mention here 192.168.1.3. So we know which IP has this one. 192.168.1.4, I think. 192.168.1.6. So these are the so this is 1.3 and this is 1.4 and this is 1.6. okay, these are the IPs. Okay, so right now we can we want to try to ping from this PC to this PC. Okay, and we'll use the simulation mode so we can see how the packet is going. Okay, let's ping right now on PC 0. Let's ping 192.168.1.6. So as you can see, since this is the first packet, okay, what it will do is, like, look at this. It's going to go to the first switch, right? The switch, and then the switch will descend to all its ports, the packet to all its ports, because it doesn't have any MAC address table yet. It doesn't know where exactly is this PC, right? So once it identifies in which port this PC is connected to, then it will send it directly to this PC. That's it. Okay, and so this is basically how it's working. Okay, but let's assume that now we want to do it again. 1 second. I'm going to go to, because it's doing it again and again. 1 second. Let's see. Let's stop the ping now. Okay, let's stop the ping and let's try to ping again. See what happens. As you can see, it just the packet went through to the PC immediately. It didn't send the packet to PC1. Okay, it only does this once initially, so it can identify the location of the PC. Okay, and put it in its MAC address table. Okay, since it's already has this data, it knows where the switch knows where PC2 is located, in which port, so it directly sends the packet from the switch to the PC, to this PC. It doesn't send the packet again to PC1 or any other port, only to this port. Okay, so this is the idea of how the switch works. Okay, initially, if it doesn't know the location of the PC, it sent the packet to all its ports except the port that is the packet is originating from. Okay, then once it knows its location, then it sends it there. So basically that's how switch works. Okay, and yeah, this is just an example so I can show you how it works. And let me show you some commands in the switch. So this is a CLI. Basically the switch will look like this, and you go NF. So this is the switch. Okay, in order to log in, you have to click enable. Okay, and then here you can only see like information, like show brief, show IP and brief. This will give you the list of all the ports in the switch, and which one is up and which one is down, which port is up and which port is down. Okay, and you can also do show run. Okay, show run is going to give you the list of commands or configurations in the switch. Like as you can see here, any configuration you make will appear in this show run. Like you can see here, all this ports, all this, yeah. Okay, so and let's say you want to change the name here, the switch name. You can change using host name. Let's make it switch 1. If you want to make any changes, actually you can't make it on this command. You have to go to configuration command, config t. Okay, now I can just host name sw1. So as you can see, I was able to change the name of the switch. Okay, and let's say I want to put password for this, for the enable command, so to prevent someone else from accessing it. I can do that using enable. There are many ways of doing it, like enable password, but this is not actually used in production and it's not secure. It's not encrypted, the password. So the best way is enable secret. Okay, I'll put 1 2 3. Okay, or the password. I put enable secret 1 2 3. So now it's already there. So let's test it out. Exit. I'll go back. Exit. Okay, this is now the switch. So if someone tries to access my switch now, enable, it will ask for a password, as you can see. So I'll just put 1 2 3 and it works. So config t and config t. Okay, and let's say I want to shut down one port. Okay, like let's say this port, this PC is no longer existing. Okay, it's no longer existing. I want to close this port, FA03, right? I will take this number, the port number, and FA03, F03, okay, and then SH. Shutdown means SH, or you can just type shutdown like this. Okay, to completely shut down the port for you. As you can see now, it's looking as red. The port is red, that means it's shut down. Okay, it's always recommended to shut down all the unused ports for security purpose. And basically, if you want to like enable it again, you can just type no shutdown. So basically, this is a way to enable and close the switch. So also we have to keep in mind that these are the in order to access any port, just like I told you, you have to use int, which means interface. Int stands for interface. F03 is a port, the interface port name, right? And then you can do that. Okay, let's say now there is one more thing you need to know. Like all these switches, all these PCs right now are actually access ports. Okay, access ports. This ports that are connected to this PCs or to access point or to anything, to end devices. Okay, it has to be set to access port. Okay, so there are 3 types of ports. Actually, you can set it to trunk. If you connected this switch to another switch, it has to be trunk. The port has to be trunk. But if this is an end point or a PC or a access point, you have to set it to access port. Like let me do here switch port mode access. Okay, this is I'm showing you this, but there are more configurations. We'll do it when we go through to the VLAN session. Okay, these are the main things that you need to know right now. Okay, let's move on to VLANs now. Yeah, VLANs. Okay, VLANs, let's talk about the theory first. What's VLAN? VLAN is basically, let me show you VLAN. It's a way to create, divide your network into multiple broadcast domain or subnetworks. Okay. VLAN is used for security, for improving performance, and to reduce the broadcast domain. Okay, let's say you have multiple departments, IT, HR, accounts, right? 3 different departments. So it's recommended to put them all on separate VLANs, okay, with separate subnets also. Okay, yeah, you can put, for example, on the IT department VLAN 10 and HR department VLAN 20, account department VLAN 30. That's how you can how it's recommended to set it up. So let me just show you one diagram of VLAN so you can understand it perfectly. Yeah, so this is VLAN. Yeah, here. This is a perfect diagram for VLAN. Actually, 1 second. Yeah, this is a good diagram for VLAN. Okay, so basically this is how it works. Okay, as you can see, they have separated the VLANs for cells. They put it in VLAN 10. Okay, all these PCs inside VLAN 10 have their own network subnets, have their own VLANs, right? And HR, same thing with HR as well, and same thing with IT as well. Okay, and then we configure to the router here. Then you connect to the router. So this is basically VLANs, how the VLANs work. And VLAN PCs in VLAN 10, for example, cannot communicate to VLAN 20. PCs in VLAN 20 cannot communicate to VLAN 30. There is a workaround where they can communicate each other. We can use inter-VLAN routing, like we can use it through the you can set sub interfaces inside in each ports of the router, so they can communicate with each other. Okay, that's one option, or we can use a multi-layer switch here, and they can communicate with each other. So this is how basically the concept of VLANs. Okay, so I will go through the lab. Okay, I'm going to use 2 switches here. Okay, and I'm going to put 1 PC here and 1 PC here, 1 PC here, 1 PC here. Okay, now I'm going to connect using a straight through cable these PCs. Okay, okay, and if you remember in our previous session, we have talked about using a crossover cable when we try to connect two devices that are the same type of device. Like for example, 2 switches, you can't use a straight through cable, you have to use a crossover cable. Okay, so this is a crossover cable, so I'm going to use this one, connect it here. So this is one way of connecting the switch. So now let's put the subnet here. I'm going to mention here, I will make this one VLAN 3. Okay, and this PC will be VLAN 3, and it will will take 192.168.10.1 10.0 networks, right? No, it will be specifically, it will be 2. Okay, and this one, for example, this PC will be VLAN 4. Okay, and it will be 192, or let's put it like VLAN 20. Okay, I mentioned this 192.168.20.2. okay, and we can actually remove this one. No, let's try to edit it, make it 10 instead of 3. So this way we were able to differentiate between them. Yeah, so this PC will be on VLAN 10, this will be on VLAN 20. So this PC, I will make it in VLAN 10 as well, and 192.168.10.3. This one is VLAN 10. And yeah, so what do you think about so this is the way to do it. Okay, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 10. Yeah, this is the correct structure. So I will put, on the switch side, you don't actually need to set any IPs. We only set it on the PCs. So let's set the IPs on the PCs. 192.168.10.2. okay, and I remember to add this one /24. No need, just it's probably clear for now. 192.168.20.20.2. okay, and 192.168.10.3. okay, one 192.168.10.4. So this is, so I set it all up. But let's just bring the port here. Let's show them. There is a way to show the viewports. So I'm just going to I'm just going to mention here, this one is F01, it's F02, right? So I'm going to mention here F01. Okay, I'm going to mention here also F02. Okay, these are just notes, and this one is F01, F02, same setup. So let's just put F01 here, F01, and here we'll put F02, F02. So basically this is how it works. So now let's go through this first switch 1 here. Okay, so first thing I will do is enable there is one way we can there is one command that you need to know: show VLAN brief, show VLAN or show VLAN brief. Okay, it will give you all the VLANs that are currently available in your configure it in your switch. Okay, and as you can see, there is only one VLAN, right? This VLAN 1, this is the default VLAN. This is where every single port inside on the switch will be by default on VLAN 1. Okay, yeah, so what you need to know is that VLAN 1 is actually there are many there are issues that for security reasons it's not recommended to put your switches that are connected to your end devices in VLAN 1. Okay, because VLAN 1 is the default VLAN. Okay, so let's go ahead and configure the VLANs. Let's start with the first port, F01. Okay, F01, I'm going to set it to VLAN 10. Okay, so how I will do this? There's two ways of doing it, but let me do this first. This is the best way to do it. Switch port, mode, access. Okay, first we will set the port to access port, then switch port, access, VLAN. I want to make it to VLAN 10. So switch port, access, VLAN 10. So it's telling me here access VLAN doesn't exist, creating VLAN. So it will create by default. Automatically it will create the VLAN 10. So let's check again. The reason I'm using do here is because in order to use sh or show commands, you have to be on this level. Okay, you're gonna do it on the configuration level. So instead of going back, I can just use do, unless you use do till 4. Yeah. So yeah, right now you can see here VLAN 10, right? Yeah, it's on. Yeah, we already configured the VLAN. That's it. This is how you can configure the VLAN. Okay. Now let's go to the second port, F01, F02, and configure the VLAN. Switch port, mode, access. Okay, switch port, port access, VLAN 20. So this is how I created the VLANs. Okay. So now what we will do is that we are going to configure this port, the port that's connected to the switch. Okay, here we cannot make it an access port because it's not connected to the PC or end device, right? It's connected to the switch. So in order to what we can do is we can configure this to trunk port. Trunk, not access, trunk port. The reason we use trunk port is like it's going to let's say you want to send this PC, okay, which is in VLAN 10, right? You want to send to this PC, okay, but this switch doesn't know. For example, when you send the packet from here, when it goes out this switch, okay, how does it know that? How does this switch knows to send it to this PC? Okay, the way it knows is that we use something called tagging, VLAN tagging. Okay, what it does is, what this switch does before sending it to this switch is that it will add a tag on the packet, okay, telling the switch to send it to VLAN 10. Okay, that's why we use trunking. That's the point of trunking. Trunk is like adding tags to the adding tags so that this switch can know where to send the packet, right? So let's go ahead and configure it, make it trunk. Okay, encapsulate. Okay, exit. Okay, so now what I will do is going to this port. This port is F03, right? So mention here F03, and here also it's F03. So what I'm going to do is going to go to int f03, and I'm going to switch port mode trunk. Okay, and I'm going to do one more thing. Okay, there is something called let me show you. Do show int trunk. Yeah, so basically what this is, we used encapsulation 802.1q. Okay, what you need to know about this is the one that's used by Cisco to encapsulation the packet. Okay, VLAN. Yeah. Okay, so right now what I did is that I set this port to trunk manually, right? There is by default it's going to be on auto or desirable. Okay, there are different status of trunking, like the trunk, auto, desirable, right? Because there is a way that we call, there is something called DTP, dynamic trunking protocol. It's a protocol that allows to negotiate between those two switches, right? As you can see now, yeah, it allows to negotiate trunking between the both switches. Okay, even if you don't set it manually. Okay, but it's recommended to set it manually for security reasons. Switch port mode trunk. Also, it's recommended to disable this DTP. Switch port non-negotiate. This is a command to disable this dynamic trunking negotiation between the two switches. The reason I'm doing this is like to prevent an attack called switch spoofing, actually, and it's part of VLAN hopping attack. Okay, we'll talk about it more on the security session, but it's recommended to use switch port non-negotiate to disable it completely and manually assign the trunk. It's like I did there, switch port mode trunk. Okay, there is one more thing that we need to do. Switch port allowed VLAN. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 and 20. Again, this is the reason I did this is so that so this port can only those two, any packet coming from those two can go through this port. Okay, these two VLANs. These are the allowed VLANs. Okay, we are saying basically that only packet coming from VLAN 10 and 20 are allowed to pass through this trunk. Okay, this again is security best practice. Okay, there is one more. Switch port trunk native VLAN 99. So this one is again a way to prevent VLAN hopping attacks, like double tagging. Okay, basically what's native VLAN? Native VLAN is a VLAN that is doesn't tag the packet when sending through the trunk port, right? It lets data pass untagged without any tag. Okay, this has an issue actually with the security issue. It's called double tagging. Okay, an attacker could manipulate the frame. So it's recommended to make by default the native VLAN is VLAN 1. Okay, so it's recommended to change it to something that no one is using, like something 99 like this. Okay, this VLAN we're not going to use, right? So set the native VLAN to something else. Don't leave it in VLAN 1. Okay, so this is it. So I have successfully completed the configuration for this. So the next step for me, what I can do is that go to the next switch. Okay, and I'll do the same thing. Yeah, this is what I told you. See, as you can see here, it's going to negotiate the trunking here. Anyhow, let's go ahead and config t. Okay, and what we are going to do right now is that let's configure the trunking first, the trunking port int f03. Okay, native VLAN mismatch. As you can see, you see this log. It's telling you native VLAN mismatch discovered in fast authoring with switch 99. Right? You see this? Because right now on this port, this switch, we didn't configure the native. The native VLAN is still on VLAN 1. Okay, but in the other switch is 99. So this is a warning, native VLAN mismatch. So we have to set it also the same native VLAN. We have to make it 99 as well. So let's first set this to switch port mode trunk and switch port trunk allowed VLAN. It will be again 1020, and switch port trunk native VLAN. It's going to be 99. Okay. Switch port trunk native VLAN 99. So, and that's about it for the. No, we have to set switch port non-negotiate. Okay, so now let's go to the other interface. Exit int f01, and I'm going to put it in VLAN 1. But now I'm going to show you the other way of configuring VLANs, adding VLANs on a switch. Okay, I told you the best way. Now I'll show you there is one more way you can do it. For example, I can just put VLAN 10 here. It will create the VLAN. That's it. If you want to add a name here, there is an option name here. For example, you can put it HR or something. So that's how it is. How you can add a VLAN, create a VLAN. You can see it here. To show VLAN brief. As you can see, VLAN 10 is already created. This one other way of creating the VLAN, but I prefer, and most people actually prefer this the other way. So let's go to int f01. Okay, switch port mode access. Okay, switch port access VLAN 10. Yeah, as you can see, it didn't ask me because it was already created, right? So let's go to the int f01 f02 switch port mode access, switch port mode access VLAN 20. This is much faster way to do it. So this is actually, I think now we have completed the configuration, the VLAN configuration. So how can we check? Let's try to send a packet from send a ping from this PC to this PC. VLAN 10 to, they are on the same VLAN, so they should be able to see each other, and ping should work. Ping 192.168.168.1. 10.10.3. Yeah, so as you can see, the ping is working fine. Okay, but assume that you want to ping to this PC, okay, or to this PC, you won't be able to ping because they're completely on a different subnet and different VLAN, right? You will be able to communicate with each other. So yeah, so this is basically how VLANs work. Okay, but there is one more thing that you should know. Okay, let's say I want to communicate. There has to be a way for me to see the packets. I want inter-VLAN routing, so both VLANs from different VLANs can communicate with each other. One way to do this is using a router on a stick. Using a router, like let's use any router here. We'll put here. This is a router, and I'm just going to put the router here. Okay, so now the next step is to open the router. This is a router, so enter. So I'll just click no here, enable config. So basically the configuration is almost similar. So in the router, let me just set here giga G00. Okay, G00, and here F04. So this is, now I'm going to go here and so first thing I will do is no shut, right? No sh or no shut down, right? Basically that's what it's done down. So it will, as you can see now, it's green. It will open the port, and then what I need to do here is that I have to add sub interfaces, okay, on this router, okay, on this port. Okay, let's exit from here. I will go to int G0.0 point. I will add here 10. This is the sub interface. As you can see, I added here point 10, right? I'm creating a sub interface. Okay, so here also it tells you sub if. So I will just go to int. No, I will just add the IP address. Okay, here the IP address is 192.168.110.1. okay, 255.255.255.0. okay, so sub interface already configured as part of IEEE. Interface is already allowed if sub interface. Okay, you're supposed to do encapsulation. Yeah, encapsulation dot 1q. Dot 1q 10. Yeah, I'm supposed to add the encapsulation here before adding, or else it won't work. Encapsulation dot 1q 10. Okay, now I will just so now it's configured. Okay, and so this, now let's go to int G0 dot 20. Let's configure for the 20 VLANs. So for this one, I'm just going to change this to 20, and again I have to, this will not work. Just like I told you, you have to set the encapsulation dot 1q 20. Okay, so now it is done, but it will not work. The trunking, the traffic. Now let's try to ping from this to this or to this, from VLAN 10 to VLAN 20. This is not supposed to work. Let's try to VLAN 20, right? No, let's just keep the continuous VLAN. Okay, this is not going to work. And I'll tell you the reason why it's not going to work. And this is a common mistake that's done by many. So listen, so it's not going to work. The reason why it won't work is because we didn't set this port to trunk. We have to set this port, the port that's connected to the router, to trunk in order for this to work. So keep this ping running and I'll show you so you can see if it's working or not. Enable config T and F0/4. So switch port mode trunk. So let's wait and see. Wait and see if the packet will go or not. Let's wait. Just give it time because it's, yeah, right now the packet should work, should go to the VLAN. No, it's not going to work again. There is another thing that we didn't do. Here the default gateway has to be set. Let me show you. The default gateway has to be set here. You have to set the default gateway 192.10.1 so that it can, the default gateway should be the sub interface gateway, right? So here put it to the 192.168.20.1 and here 192.168.10.1 and here 192.168.10.1 here. Yeah, this is done. So no, but this should be 20, right? Wait, this should be 20. This should be 20. Okay, this is here. So this should be actually 20. 0 and this should be 20. And this one is 10. That's fine. This one should be 20. That's fine. And this one should be 20. So now it should work. Let's go to the first PC and see what we are going to do now. Okay. No, because we're pinging 10.4, right? We should ping 20.4 now. Yeah, so now as you can see the packet is going, is passing successfully to the 20 VLAN 20, right? Pinging from PC1, this is the first PC, and I'm able to access VLAN 20. So this is how inter-VLAN works, inter-VLAN routing works, and if you use router on a stick method. Okay, there is one more method that I want to show you, that is you can also use a multi-layer switch to do this. This is it. So this is a multi-layer switch. This is a multi-layer switch. So let's check here. Yeah, this is a multi-layer switch. So this is layer 3 switch. So layer 3 means you can set IP address to it as well. So let's just put add F. Yeah, so I'm going to set here F01, and I'm going to set this one to the, I'm going to set it enable config T. So the first thing I need to do is like go to this, no, we're going to go to the VLAN, int VLAN 10, okay, int VLAN 10, and then I'm going to add the IP address for this VLAN. So the IP address for this VLAN 10 is going to be 192.168.1.10.1. Okay, the difference between this method and the router on a stick is that in the router on a stick you're configuring the default gateway on the sub interfaces. Here you're configuring it on the VLAN, the multi-layer switch. You're configuring it on the VLAN. Yeah, 0. Okay, no shut, and let's go to int VLAN 20. Okay, and we're going to add the IP here, and again no shut. So now let's do one more configuration. Without this configuration it won't work actually. IP routing has to be configured. Okay, we can try to show VLAN. IP routing has to be configured, and let's show. Okay, yeah, IP routing has to be configured. Yeah, so IP routing basically it tells the switch that we can add use IPs there, and also don't forget this port has to be configured as trunk. Int F01 switch port mode trunk. Yeah, host trunk is auto cannot be configured. Trunk mode. Configure this one. Okay. The reason it's giving me this one is because the encapsulation. In this case, in this multi-layer switch, you have to use this command: switch port mode, switch port encapsulation trunk .1q, I think, or something like that. 1 second. Switch port. Yeah, switch port trunk. No, switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. Yeah, .1q. No, 1q. .1q. Yeah, this is the way to do it. Switch port, then we have switch port mode trunk. So now it's configured trunk. Let's configure on this port as well. Yeah, int F0/4 switch port mode trunk switch port done negotiate. So yeah, so basically what we will do now is that let's test if it will actually work. It's not working. Now it's working. So as you can see, it's working. So I was able to go through the packets with يعني, this is a way to set inter-VLAN routing using the switch, multi-layer switch. So let's conclude the session for today, okay? And discussed about VLANs and all other important features that comes with VLANs and best practices. So thank you for watching, and we will have and see you in next session. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, like. Thank you.